Counting down the best James Bond pre-title sequences, at number 16 is the first and one of the best, From Russia with Love.
So the first pre-title sequence, I think it might have been a quirk of editing because Peter Hunt was obviously had all the scenes in his hand in his studio, and they were trying to sort of poke around with them. I don't think it was originally intended to go before or at the beginning of the film. It was just a scene filmed to show the training of Spectre.
Yeah.
But it couldn't work out as a better introduction to, well, the film, to Grant, obviously, and to Spectre. So it's almost a quirk of fate that we've got this, and then that meant all of the others came from it. So
yeah,
brilliant.
It's amazing how that's worked out, and you can imagine where it might have slipped in later because they do show the Spectre Island training and all that. But that's daylight, isn't it? So this is when we see it later. This being at night, it also adds to it. The idea of Bond sneaking around, it's convincing when it's at night, and I know it's daft, but him having his dinner jacket on as well, you buy it just because it's got the whole image of Bond sneaking around, looking smart, dinner jacket, which is a funny detail that they must have added for the training.
This was only the second film, so it's not like it was so established that his
I know.
go-to
right. Straight away you see Connery as Bond and you know that's James Bond, even though it's the second film. But because of that, you instantly know really that Grant is his adversary. You know, he's against him.
Yeah.
Like, I think you're so sure that Bond is Bond that you know that Grant is the villain of the scene.
I think it's such a really clever way of bigging up both characters. You know, them having a sort of confrontation that's obviously not really them, but foreshadowing their big confrontation later on. When you're watching it, you're thinking, this is Bond. Interesting, yeah, it's only the second film, but this shows, you know, the sort of the esteem or the, you know, I don't know, respect that is held for Bond by even his enemies. And then you've got this sort of anti-Bond, not wearing a dinner jacket, but in the, you know, the gorgeous black outfit, you know, almost white blonde hair. No dialogue.
No.
You know, no explanation for it. Like, you're gonna have to watch it. You'll see what happens, but it's really, really clever and really effective.
You mentioned no dialogue. There's also no music, really, apart from jumpy moments and a bit of Spectre theme and a bit just occasional. But up until then, all you're relying on is the sound effects of nighttime, which add to that. You know, you've got that bird that we're all familiar with.
Yeah.
And I don't know if just those sound effects add to the tension in it. I find it amazing with all these pre-title sequences that you can be instantly thrown into a real tense scene just by sounds and the movements of the actors. You know, right, this is tension. It's brilliant.
That music, Stalking, I think the track is called, it's repeated in The Spy Love Me.
Yeah.
In the pyramid scene. You know, with Jaws and Annie with Bond, and they're all going around. It's not the pyramids, is it? It's the Valley of the Kings, is it called?
The Egyptian builders.
Egyptian builders, yeah. But it's really good, tense music at the end. You're absolutely, I had not thought about that before, that it doesn't say like anything. It's just they discover them. Morzini comes along, takes the mask off, and just says, what is it, 1 minute 52? Is that your best time or something?
Yeah.
Exactly 1 minute 52 seconds. That's excellent.
And we don't know who, you're right. It doesn't say, well done, you're part of the Spectre hierarchy now, or something on the nose at all. But that might be because it wasn't meant to be at that stage.
Well, maybe, but then they had the visions to say, well, if we put this in here, it might not explain everything, but that will all come, and you know, it'll be really effective. And of course, we have the face, you know, the mask reveal, the lovely sound.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. It's great to go back and watch it knowing, and you can see the makeup on Sean Connery that is clearly trying to make it not quite look like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
As-
looks a
as-
bit paler, or
Yeah,
he
it's
does,
quite scary.
yeah.
And
More
his
makeup
movements
kind of.
aren't really as confident. No,
Yeah,
yeah,
It's a bit like
acting.
he looks more like a ventriloquist's dummy, doesn't he? Kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
sort of
yeah, yeah.
big like. Has there ever been since any use of actual masks in Bond like that, as in a
Mm.
disguised mask?
Like Mission Impossible.
Like
well, I
Mission
know. I was
Impossible,
going
yeah.
to say, yeah,
It's never been.
I assume
done.
it's pre Mission Impossible. When was the TV series?
60s, wasn't it? But I think
60s,
it,
Yeah, but
yeah, that's true, isn't it? Yeah.
Al-
and-
But they
also-
never thought to go back there.
I always try and look out for the difference between, if there is any difference between Connery's acting when he's strangled here and then when
Yeah.
he's strangled later. And there is a slight difference, I think. One's he opens his mouth, is it in this?
And I think the noise of the I don't think that's Connery.
Yeah.
I was
No,
going to say
you're
that's the
right.
question,
That's
but there is
brilliant.
part of it that sounds a bit like him. Like, oh, yeah.
Originally, the actor who played it looked too much like Connery, so they changed it for a guy with a tash.
Or did they put a
Yeah.
mustache on him? Or yeah.
Oh,
Oh, just,
yeah.
No, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you'd been on set, Matt, you would have.
Yeah,
been
yeah,
picked.
exactly. Yeah.
When the big shutter or whatever floodlights come
Yeah.
on, it's pretty intimidating. That place. It's very, sort of Nazi Germany, isn't it? Kind of
Yeah.
the
Spectre
big
Island.
building. Yeah, yeah.
Because obviously you see it later, do you, in the background when Grant is having his massage. I think it's the same place.
Yeah.
I've always assumed it's the same place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The first pre-title sequence, it really is good because it gets you intrigued for the story. It's only short. You sort of see Bond, but not really, and then it goes really crisply into the title sequence.
Yeah.
You say it's only short 3 minutes, I think. Is it something like that or less?
It's
250?
the shortest one. I think it's just
Yeah.
about 3 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, which it shows how much you can achieve. And I'm not just talking about pre-title sequences. In Bond films
Yeah, yeah.
throughout, they're able to achieve so much with slick storytelling and
Yeah,
cutting
Yeah.
and keeping everything
minimal
sharp.
dialogue.
Yeah, yeah.
This could have been, in a modern film, it could have been 10 minutes. You could have had like a chase. You could have had
Yeah.
a fight. It just could have been extended, but there's absolutely no need. And it gets you so up for it. And it still doesn't feel rushed, though. Like even that final shot of them walking off, it's
No.
a long
Yeah.
shot, that. And
Yeah,
then
it's quite slow as he walks off swinging the mask.
But we're not, even though this was the first pre-title sequence, and the title sequence is still not, there's still not the title song on it yet, of course. It's the John Barry music instead, which is brilliant.
Well, John Barry, this is, he's
Yeah.
the addition, which is, like I say, there's not much music in this, but there is oomph for every jump. He does get behind it with the orchestra. And then there's the kind of sinister undertones of Spectre are in there already. You've got your enemy, you've got the villain sorted, kind of.